Hello and welcome to Replacement Player Baseball. This afternoon we are in Los Angeles for Game 1 of the ALCS between the Chicago Cubs and the Los Angeles Dodgers. The Cubs and Dodgers facing off for the first time in the playoffs in quite a few years. The Dodgers, who have the best record in baseball this year, and the Cubs, their opponent, who set the record for wins and winning percentage in the National League last season. The Cubs are going to be sending out a lineup of Ogando, Midkiff, Guerrero, Kuning, Bodine, Ornelas, Blackmore, Iwata, and Segovia doing the catching. Nate Mitchell will be on the mound. He's made 32 starts with a 13-7 win-loss record and a 2.83 ERA, 1.03 WHIP. For the Dodgers, the lineup today will be Ortiz, Ramirez, Herrera, Gladney, Brown, Fish, Campos. J.J. Tiefenthaler is doing the catching, and Alex Campos is playing third. Ricky London is doing the pitching. He also made 32 starts this season with a 14-12 record, 3.52 ERA, and a 1.22 WHIP. It is a very comfortable 74 degrees here in Southern California tonight, with the wind blowing left to right at 8 mph. And we are ready to start out with Game 1 of the National League Championship Series. London is on the mound, Ogando the batter, and the national anthem is just concluding as London is ready to face the first batter. London finished 5th in strikeouts in the National League this season. Ogando puts it on the ground toward third. The throw goes over to first, and even the speedy Ogando cannot beat out that for out number 1. Next up is Tristan Midkiff, mid-season acquisition for the Cubs this season, and London facing Midkiff with a 3-ball count. Here comes the delivery. Midkiff drives it in the air to deep right field, going back. That is going to clear the wall. The Cubs have a 1-0 lead. Midkiff was swinging at a 3-0 pitch, and he drives it 400 feet into the stands in right field. The Cubs jump out to an early 1-0 lead. So London gives up the gopher ball, and now Guerrero comes up to the plate. Vlad Guerrero is 8 for 24 with 2 home runs so far in the postseason. London facing Vlad with a 1-2 count. Cubs up by 1. Here comes the delivery. And a swing and a miss for strike 3. He had him way out in front of that one with a changeup. So Vlad heads back to the dugout, and now Mitch Kuning is the batter. He is last year's Rookie of the Year and this year's team home run leader with 32. Here comes the pitch to Mitch Kuning. Driven in the air down the right field line. That's going to drop in for a base hit. Kuning rounds first but stops. That will be a 2-out single here in the top of the first inning. So the Cubs keeping the inning alive, bringing up Sean Bodine. Bodine, MVP of the National League. He is going to face London with 2 outs and a runner on first. Here comes the 2-strike count, and Bodine grounds it up the middle. The pitcher has it. The throw over to first, and that will end the inning. So the Cubs score once, they strand one. We go to the bottom of the first of a 1-0 Chicago lead. And now Nate Mitchell is on the mound. Mitchell is going to face off with Ortiz, who is leading off for the Dodgers. 1-2 count. The lefty Mitchell facing the lefty Ortiz. And here comes the pitch. There's a swing and a miss for strike 3. A fastball at 97, and he blew it right by him for the first out of the inning. Ramirez now the batter. Alexander Ramirez coming up to the plate. He is DHing today with 1 out and nobody on. 1 ball is the count. And there's a grounder toward third. Ornelas has it. He throws across the diamond, and that is out number 2. Herrera now the batter with 2 outs and nobody on. Mitchell working with a 1-2 count. Here comes the delivery. Driven in the air, deep to left field, going back. Ogando looks up, and that is in the stands. A tie ball game as Herrera blasts that one 410 feet into the left field stands for a tie ball game. It's 1-1 here in the bottom of the first inning. Herrera apparently gunning for an extension as we go now to Gladney, who is batting for the Dodgers. Mitchell facing Gladney with 2 outs and nobody on. 2-2 is the count. Here comes the pitch. Gladney lines it up the middle. He nearly took Mitchell's head off with that one. That was a sharp liner to center field for a 2-out single. So the Dodgers inning continues with Dylan Brown coming up to the plate. He is 3 for 19 in the postseason with 2 outs and the runner on first. Mitchell working with a 2-1 count. And the pitch, a liner into right. That's going to be another base hit. Rounding second, heading for third is the base runner. And the Dodgers are going to have runners on the corners with 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. So now Fish is the batter, or Pish, excuse me. Josh Pish, who is playing center field for the Dodgers. He was acquired in a trade with Oakland. Pish facing Mitchell with 2 outs, 2 men on in the bottom of the first. Here's a 2-strike count and a grounder towards second. The throw goes over to first and the inning is over. The Dodgers do manage to tie the ball game. They strand 2. We're going to the top of the second of a 1-1 ball game. And now London facing Ornelas in the top of the second inning. 3-1 count. Ornelas stands in. Here comes the pitch. That is low and away for ball 4. So the walk is issued. The Cubs have the leadoff man on base, the go-ahead run here in the top of the second inning. Blackmore now batting. Blackmore with a runner on first, nobody out, waiting for the full count delivery, and that is high for ball 4. So back-to-back walks gives the Cubs 2 base runners here in the top of the second, and they are threatening with Iwata coming up to the plate. Iwata batting in the top of the second, 2 men on, nobody out. Tie ball game, 2 strikes is the count. Here's the pitch to Iwata, and he lines it back up the middle. The shortstop dives, he has it, the throw over to first, and that will be the first out of the inning. Man, that looked like it was headed for center field. And Herrera did some crazy glove work to get that stopped, throwing out the runner at first. So Segovia now comes up to the plate. He is 3 for 22 in the postseason with 1 out, 2 runners in scoring position. Cubs looking to try to retake the lead. 1-2 is the count. Segovia swings and misses, and that is out number 2. He was overmatched with that circle change. So now Ogando batting again. In the top of the second, 2 outs, still 2 men on. Ogando 0 for 1 on the day. Here comes the delivery, and that's a pop up to left. Should be an easy play. The left fielder comes in a few steps, and he makes the catch to end the inning. So the Cubs strand 2. We go to the bottom of the second, still tied at 1. Campos facing Mitchell here in the bottom of the second inning. Mitchell will face the 7, 8, 9 batters in the bottom of the second. Full count, Nate Mitchell with the delivery. Line past the first baseman into right field. That will be a base hit. I think Andre Dawson might have tried to throw him out at first on that one. It looked like Campos might have been lollygagging a bit on his way to first. So now Tiefenthaler is the batter with a runner on first, nobody out. Mitchell with a 1-ball count, and that gets away. So the runner is going to advance to second, and now the go-ahead run is in scoring position. Tiefenthaler's at-bat continues as Mitchell works with a 3-1 count. Here's the pitch. Grounded up the middle. Shortstop Bodine has he throws to first. That is out number 1. The runner advances to third, and now the go-ahead runner is only 90 feet away. Campos facing Mitchell with 1 out, 1 man on. 1-2 is the count. Mitchell gets him to swing and miss, but the ball gets away from the catcher. The throw down to first, and the strikeout is recorded. So now there are 2 outs. Runner still on third. Ortiz facing Mitchell, lefty versus lefty in the bottom of the second inning. Mitchell with the first pitch, and it's lined into left field. On the run is Ogando, and he makes an easy catch, gliding toward the line for out number 3. So the Dodgers threaten, they do not score. We're going to the top of the third, still tied up at 1. Midkiff comes up. He had a home run his first time up. He's facing London again here in the top of the third inning. Full count. Here's the delivery. And Midkiff swings and misses for out number 1. That was strike 3, out number 1. Vlad Guerrero now the batter, 1 out, nobody on. London working with a 2-2 count. Here comes the delivery. And Guerrero swings and misses for strike 3. All of these Cubs batters are looking like they have never seen a circle change before. London is really fooling them with that pitch. 2 outs now, nobody on. 1 strike is the count. Here comes the pitch. And there's a liner down the right field line. That is going to be extra bases as Kuning rounds first, heading for second. He is going to cruise in with a double here with 2 outs in the top of the 3rd inning. So the Cubs now, with the go-ahead run in scoring position, bring up Sean Bodine. 2 outs, runner on second. 3-1 is the count. Bodine takes outside for ball 4. So now there's runners on first and second with 2 outs. Bodine on first. Kuning on second. Ornelas now the batter. 2 outs, 2 men on. Tie ball game. London working with a 1-strike count. Ornelas waits for the pitch. And it's a liner over the first baseman's head down the right field line. That's going to drive in some runs. Ornelas heading for extra bases as he cruises into second with a stand-up double. The throw goes home, and they tag out the trailing runner. So Bodine is tagged out at home. Kuning scores, and the Cubs take a 2-1 lead on the Ornelas RBI double in the top of the 3rd inning. Some aggressive base running there cost the Cubs, and now Ramirez facing Mitchell as the Cubs have retaken the lead. We're going into the bottom of the 3rd inning. Alexander Ramirez waiting for the 3-0 pitch. Mitchell delivers high for ball 4. That is going to be a 4-pitch walk, and the first runner is on base here in the bottom of the 3rd. Mitchell now facing Herrera with a runner on first, nobody out. 1-1 is the count, and there's a pop-up to center, deep. Going back is Midkiff. He makes the play. That is out number 1. The runner holds at first with no opportunity to tag up in advance. Gladney now the batter. 1 out, 1 man on. Mitchell working. First pitch to Gladney. And that is a ball, I believe. The throw goes down to second. No, he did call it a strike, but the stolen base attempt is successful as Segovia's throw is late. So now the Dodgers have a runner on second and 1 out. Gladney waiting for the 1-2 pitch. He lines into center field, chasing his Midkiff. He is going to make the running catch for out number 2. The runner still holds at second, and now there's 2 outs, 1 man on. Dylan Brown is the next batter for the Dodgers. Mitchell working, 2-2 count. Here it comes, driven in the air down the left field line. Ogando chasing. He's going to have room, just 1 step short of foul territory. He hauls it in, and that will end the inning. So the Dodgers strand a runner. They do not score. We're going to the top of the 4th. 2-1 is the ball game. Blackmore now facing London here in the top of the 4th inning, leading off for the Cubs. Blackmore digs in. There's a grounder toward first. The throw goes to the pitcher covering, and that is out number 1. Next up is Awada with 1 out, nobody on. London faces Awada with a 2-2 count. Here comes the pitch. Awada swings and misses for strike 3. That is out number 2. Segovia now the batter. 2 outs and nobody on. London still working. 2-1 count. Here comes the pitch. Grounded toward first. A 1-hopper. The first baseman wins the foot race to the bag, as I'm sure many people have won foot races with Segovia. We're going down to the bottom of the 4th inning. It is still 2-1 in favor of the Cubs. Pish is the batter facing Mitchell to lead off the Dodgers in the bottom of the 4th. Dodgers sending Pish up. Here's a 2-strike count and the delivery. Line past the 3rd baseman in left field. That will be a leadoff base hit as the Dodgers are going to have the tying run on first here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Nobody out, 1 man on. Gabe Campos now the batter. Bottom of the 4th. Mitchell working with a 1-strike count. That is low. The throw goes down to second, and that throw is going to be late. So Segovia continuing to struggle to throw out base runners. Excuse me. Campos still facing Mitchell. 1-2 is the count. There's a pop-up in foul territory. Segovia is going to make that play, and that is out number 1. Tiefenthaler now the batter. 1 out, runner on second. Cubs nursing a 1-run lead. Here's a grounder past the 3rd baseman down the left field line. That is going to tie up the ball game. Ogando has it. He gets it back into the infield. The runner is going to slide into second with an RBI double as Tiefenthaler ties up the ball game here in the bottom of the 4th. It is now 2-2. Mitchell facing Alex Campos. in the bottom of the fourth. One out, runner on second. 1-2 is the count. Popped up deep to center. Looks like Midkiff will have room on the warning track. He makes the play. That is out number 2. The runner is going to tag up and advance as Midkiff made that catch with his back to the infield. So now 2 outs. Go ahead run 90 feet away. Mitchell faces Ortiz in the bottom of the 4th inning. 2 strikes is the count, and it's popped up. This time, Midkiff is going to come in to make the play, and he makes the catch for out number 3. So the inning is over. The Dodgers do tie the ball game. We're going to the top of the 5th of a 2-2 contest. Ogando leading off against London in the top of the 5th inning. 2-1 is the count. London with the delivery, and it's a grounder towards short. The shortstop comes in. He throws across the diamond and makes a play surprisingly close at first as Ogando is thrown out for the first out of the inning. Midkiff now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. Full count to Midkiff. Here it comes. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That is out number 2. Guerrero batting now with 2 outs and nobody on. London working with a full count. Here's the pitch. And Vlad swings and misses for strike 3. That is out number 3. So we go now to the bottom of the 5th, all tied up at 2 here at Los Angeles. Ramirez facing Mitchell to lead off for the Dodgers in the bottom of the 5th inning. 2 strikes is the count. Here's the pitch. And it is swung and missed, but it gets away. The catcher has it. He throws to first. It is not in time. So Ramirez gets to first on the pass ball, strike 3, and now Herrera is the batter with 1 man on and nobody out. Mitchell working with a 1-ball count, hopped up left center field. Coming in is Ogando. He has a line on it, and he makes the catch for out number 1. Next up is Gladney with 1 out, 1 man on. 1 strike is the count. Mitchell delivers, hopped up third base side. Calling for it is Ornelas. He makes the catch for out number 2. Brown now the batter. 2 outs, 1 man on. Mitchell working with a 1-1 count. There's a grounder toward short. Bodine has it. He throws to second to retire the lead runner and end the inning. So we're going to the top of the 6th, all knotted up at 2. Huning facing London here in the top of the 6th inning. Huning, who is 2 for 2 on the day, with a 1-ball count, waiting for the pitch from the righty London. And he drives it in the air, deep center field, going back, and the center fielder makes the catch for out number 1. Next up is Bodine with 1 out, nobody on. London working with the first pitch to Bodine. Here it comes. And he drives it toward the shortstop on the ground. The throw goes over to first. That is out number 2. Ornelas now the batter. 2 outs and nobody on. 2-1 is the count. London with the delivery. And that's a grounder toward first. Easy play. First baseman has it. He races to the bag, and that will end the inning. So the Cubs go down in order. We go down to the bottom of the 6th of a 2-2 tie. Pish now batting, facing Mitchell here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 strike is the count. Mitchell with the delivery. Looped into center field. That is going to drop into no man's land for a leadoff single. So the Dodgers have the go-ahead run on base in the bottom of the 6th. Campos now the batter. Mitchell continuing to work. He's at 86 pitches. 1 strike is the count. The throw goes down to second. It's going to be late. That'll be another stolen base. So now the go-ahead run is in scoring position in the bottom of the 6th inning. 2 strikes is the count on Campos. Mitchell working. Here comes the pitch. Lined into center field. That is going to give the Dodgers the lead. Midkiff has it, but he throws home. It's going to be late. The Dodgers take a 3-2 lead in the bottom of the 6th inning as Campos delivers the RBI single. And now the Dodgers lead for the first time in this contest. Tiefenthaler, the batter, facing Mitchell in the bottom of the 6th. Runner on first, nobody out. Here comes the pitch. Grounded up the middle. That's another base hit as it gets just by the glove of Bodine. The runner is going to advance first to third. The Dodgers now have runners on the corners with nobody out. Campos now facing Mitchell in the bottom of the 6th inning. This is the other Campos with 2 strikes, runners on the corners. Lined over the first baseman's head, that'll drive in another run. The Dodgers continuing to pile on with more base hits in the bottom of the 6th inning, and you have to wonder how long are they going to leave Nate Mitchell on the mound. As 2 runs have already scored, no outs have been recorded. Runners are still on the corners. Ortiz, the next batter, here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Mitchell working with a 2-2 count. Here comes the delivery. Line past the shortstop into left field. That is another base hit. Another run is going to score. It's now 5-2 in favor of the Dodgers. And Mitchell still has yet to record an out in the bottom of the 6th inning. And now Corey Baumann is coming out of the Cubs bullpen. This is his first postseason appearance this year. He did throw 61 2/3 innings during the regular season with 31 walks, 56 strikeouts, and a 4.09 ERA. He's going to face Alexander Ramirez with first and second, nobody out in the bottom of the 6th inning. 3 runs are already in. 2 balls is the count. Baumann looking for the sign. Here's the pitch. Grounded past the third baseman down the left field line. That's going to drive in some more runs. Ogando gets it back into the infield. 1 run is going to score. 2 runs are going to score. It's now 7-2 in favor of the Dodgers here in the bottom of the 6th inning. 5 runs have scored. There are still no outs. That's an RBI double for Ramirez. Herrera is the next batter here in the bottom of the 6th. Runner on second, nobody out. Baumann delivers. There's a pop-up, short left field. Ogando should have this one. That will be the first out of the inning. The runner does not attempt to tag up in advance, and now Baumann faces Gladney with 1 out, 1 man on. Full count. There's ball 4 inside. So now there's runners on first and second. I guess that does set up the ground ball double play. We'll see how this at-bat goes against Dylan Brown. Baumann working with 1 out, 2 men on. 2-2 is the count. There's a grounder toward third. The throw goes over to second. The relay to first. That's that ground ball double play we were looking for. 5-4-3 and the inning is over. But a lot of damage is done. The Dodgers score 5 times, taking a 7-2 lead into the top of the 7th inning. London now faces Blackmore in the top of the 7th. The Cubs need to try to claw their way back into this ballgame. There's a 2-ball count, and there's a leadoff single. Blackmore gets on base to lead off the top of the 7th inning. Blackmore stops at first. Next up is Iwata. Runner on first, nobody out. London facing Iwata with a 2-strike count. And Iwata swings and misses. That is strike 3. So he has 8 strikeouts now on the day. Next up is Segovia. 1 out, 1 man on. London faces Segovia. Here comes the pitch. The throw is going to go down to second on the stolen base attempt, and Blackmore is out by about 6 feet. So that wasn't even close. There's now 2 outs and nobody on. Segovia continues his at-bat against London with a 2-ball count. Here comes the pitch. Lined into right field. That'll be another base hit. Excuse me. Too bad Blackmore wasn't on base to capitalize on that, but so be it. Runner on first now and 2 outs. Ogando, the next batter for the Cubs, facing London, lefty versus righty. Here comes the first pitch to Ogando, and he pops it up. Straightaway center field, taking a few steps back. The center fielder gets under it. He makes the play, and the inning is over. So the Cubs strand a runner. They do not score. We're going to the bottom of the 7th of a 7-2 ball game. Baumann faces Pish here in the bottom of the 7th, trying to hold this at a 5-run ball game. 2 strikes is the count. And there's a liner down the right field line as the hit parade continues for the Dodgers. That's going to be a leadoff extra base hit as Pish gets a double to lead off the bottom of the 7th inning. Campos now the batter. Gabe Campos, who is 2 for 3 with an RBI today, facing Baumann with a 2-ball count. Here comes the delivery. Popped up right field. Coming in is Blackmore. He looks up and he puts it away for out number 1. The runner thinks about tagging up and advancing, but thinks better of it. And now Tiefenthaler is the batter. 1 out, 1 man on. 1-1 is the count. Here's the pitch. Line down the right field line. That's going to be another base hit. Blackmore has it. He throws home. The runners do not attempt to advance further as they stop at first and third with 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Alex Campos now the batter. With 1 out, runners on the corners. Baumann continuing to work. 2-2 is the count. Grounded past the first baseman in the right field. Another run is going to score. The RBI single for Alex Campos makes this an 8-2 ball game in the bottom of the 7th inning. So Ortiz now facing Baumann. 1 out, 2 men on. 2-2 is the count. And he grounds it toward first. The throw goes to second. The relay back to first is not in time. They try to turn the 3-6-3 double play, but the return throw to first is late. Another run scores. Now there's 2 outs and a runner on first in the bottom of the 7th inning. The Dodgers are now up 9-2. Baumann faces Ramirez with 2 outs in the bottom of the 7th. 1-2 is the count. Here comes the delivery. Swing and a miss for strike 3. That is going to end the inning. So the Dodgers score 2 more times. They take a 7-run lead into the top of the 8th inning. Midkiff facing London here in the top of the 8th. London at 99 pitches. He has thrown 7 innings of 6-hit, 2-run baseball with 3 walks and 8 strikeouts. 3-1 is the count. Here's the pitch to Midkiff. He lines it into center field, more like golfs it into center field, I suppose, for a leadoff single. So if the Cubs are going to rally, I guess this is where it's got to start. Guerrero now the batter. Runner on first, nobody out. London facing Guerrero. There's a drive into center field. Going back, a diving play. Pish reaches out and grabs it fully extended for out number 1. Guerrero can't believe it. Kuning now the batter. 1 out, 1 man on. London working with a 2-2 count. Here's the pitch to Mitch Kuning. He drives it in the air, deep to right field. Kiss it goodbye. That is going to make this a 9-4 ball game. Kuning with a 2-run home run, 411 feet into the right field stands. And now this is a 5-run Dodger lead. Mitch Kuning with a big hit here in the top of the 8th inning. Bodine, the next batter, he's going to face Ruben Castillo. Ruben Castillo is coming out of the Dodgers bullpen. However, he was a starter during the regular season. So, Castillo working against Bodine with 1 out in the top of the 8th inning. 2 runs already in, 1 strike count. Castillo with the delivery. There's a pop up to center. Coming in fast is the center fielder Pish, and he makes the catch for out number 2. Ornelas now the batter. 2 outs and nobody on. 2-1 is the count. Here comes the delivery. Lined into right field, going over to play it on a hop, I suppose, is the right fielder. I thought he was going to try to make that catch, but apparently he decided to play it safe and catch it on the hop, make sure it didn't get by him. So Blackmore now the batter with 2 outs, 1 man on. Castillo faces Blackmore with a 2-1 count. And Blackmore lines it past the first baseman in right field for another base hit. Rounding second and heading over to third is the lead runner, Ornelas. So now the Cubs have first and third with 2 outs in the top of the 8th inning. That'll bring up Ramilde Awada, and Keurig is brought in out of the bullpen. Keurig comes in. He struggled a little bit in a couple of outings in the division series, but he righted the ship in Game 5 and ended up closing out the game against Washington. Keurig now pitching against Awada with 2 outs, 2 men on in the top of the 8th inning. Full count. Awada stands in. Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss for strike 3, and that is going to end the inning. So the Cubs get 2, they strand 2. We're going to the bottom of the 8th of a 9-4 contest. Baumann comes back out to pitch here in the bottom of the 8th inning, with the Cubs down by 5, needing to hold it right here if they have any chance of coming back. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Grounder up the middle. Shortstop has it. Oh, and Bodine bobbles it. So the runner is going to be safe at first on an error. And now Baumann working from the stretch against DJ Gladney. With a runner on first, nobody out. Here's a full count delivery. Popped up right center field. Coming in is Midkiff. He calls for it. Makes the catch for out number 1. Next up is Brown. Dylan Brown batting. He's 1 for 4 today. Facing Baumann with 1 out, 1 man on. 1 strike is the count. Baumann with the pitch. Popped up. Foul territory. Catcher comes out and has it. He's going to make the catch for out number 2. Pish now the batter. 2 outs. Runner is still on first. Baumann working to Pish with a 1-2 count. And it's a swing and a miss for strike 3. So that's going to end the inning with a slider. We're going to go to the top of the 9th with the Cubs down by 5. Los Angeles looking to lock up Game 1 of the NLCS. They've got their closer on the mound with a 5-run lead in the top of the 9th inning. Segovia is the first batter. He is 1 for 3 today. Waiting for the 1-2 pitch. Kirk with the delivery. Swing and a miss for strike 3. So that is out number 1. Ogando now the batter. 1 out, nobody on. Kirk with a full count. Here's the delivery. Strike 3 called. Ogando thought that was up and in, but the umpire rings him up, and that is out number 2. So now Midkiff's the batter with the Cubs down to their final out. Kirk working with a 1-2 count. Here comes the delivery. Grounded toward first. The game is over. The first baseman steps on the bag, and the Dodgers take a 1-0 lead in the National League Championship Series. 9-4 is the final in this contest. The Dodgers getting 9 runs on 15 hits with no errors. The Cubs, 4 runs on 10 hits with 1 error. The player of today's game is the Cubs' Mitch Kuning. He actually hit 2 home runs. He hit a home run in a losing effort. It was his 2nd home run of the postseason. Kuning went 3 for 4 with a 2 runs scored and 2 RBIs. So Nate Mitchell takes the loss. He went 5 innings, 11 hits, 7 runs, 1 walk, 3 strikeouts, and London gets the win, 7 1/3 of 8-hit, 4-run baseball with 3 walks and 8 strikeouts. Thank you for watching Replacement Player Baseball.